Along the banks of China's Yi River, there's a place that completely redefines what an art gallery can be. I mean, forget a building, this is a whole city of gods and disciples carved directly into the face of a cliff. We're about to explore the absolutely breathtaking Longmen Grottoes.
And just look at this. Here's your first glimpse of the incredible scale we're talking about. For more than a kilometer, these limestone cliffs are just honeycombed with thousands of caves, and every single one is a shrine. It is an unbelievable fusion of art and devotion that has somehow survived for centuries.
To really wrap your head around the sheer scale of it all, let's just run through some numbers. It's estimated there are as many as 100,000 individual statues here.
And they're housed inside more than 2,300 caves and niches, each one painstakingly carved out by hand.
And get this monumental project was not built overnight. The work here spanned an incredible 1,500 years. That's a testament to entire dynasties of faith and incredible artistry.
So where exactly is this incredible city of statues, and what makes it just so unique?
Okay, so you'll find the grottos about 12 kilometers south of the ancient capital city of Luoyang in China's Henan province. They line both sides of the Yi River for a full kilometer, which flows right between these two dramatic cliffs that actually give the site its name, Longmen, which means Dragon's Gate.
Now, here's something that is truly mind-boggling: the incredible range and scale. You have some statues that are tiny, just 1 inch tall, hidden away in these little niches. And then you have the largest Buddha, which towers at 57 feet. It's like a whole universe of sculpture, from the absolutely miniature to the truly monumental, all in one place.
So how on earth did all of this begin? Well, the story starts with an emperor making one truly game-changing decision.
Our story begins way back in 493 AD. The Emperor Xiaowen of the Northern Wei dynasty decided to move his capital to Luoyang, and when he did that, he didn't just move a government, he sparked an artistic revolution. This move unleashed a huge wave of imperial funding for Buddhist art, and that kicked off the very first great phase of carving at Longmen.
The art from this early period, which makes up about 30% of the entire site, it has this very distinct style. You can see it here. Notice the slim, elongated figures and these serene, thin faces. This was the foundational aesthetic, the very first artistic chapter written in stone.
After a period of, let's say, slower development, the site entered its golden age with the arrival of the powerful Tang dynasty. And this era saw an absolute explosion of creativity, responsible for a staggering 60% of the grottos we can see today.
The artistic achievement of this period is just so profound that the main cave from this era, the Fengjian Sea, is described as nothing less than the quintessence of Buddhist sculpture in China. High praise, right?
And this is why. The centerpiece of the entire complex is this colossal Vairocana Buddha. At over 17 meters or 57 feet high, it is the absolute masterpiece of the Longmen Grottoes, and its creation was championed by one of China's most powerful rulers ever, Empress Wu Zetian.
And I love this little detail. It really brings the history to life. The story goes that Empress Wu Zetian personally donated a huge sum from her own allowance, her rouge and powder money, just to make sure this magnificent statue was completed.
But here is the most fascinating legend about the statue's face. It's widely believed that the serene, powerful features of the Buddha were actually modeled on the Empress herself. It was a move that basically immortalized her, not just as a patron, but as the very face of the divine.
But you know, after reaching such incredible artistic heights, the story of Longmen takes a really dark turn. For centuries, this amazing legacy faced threats that nearly wiped it from existence. It's a question you can't help but ask when you look at the photos. You notice that so many of the statues are damaged, and a shocking number are missing their heads. So, why is that?
Well, the damage came in waves over hundreds of years. The site had to endure official anti-Buddhist persecution. Then there was widespread looting by Western and Japanese collectors in the early 20th century. And finally, it suffered from vandalism during the political turmoil of the Cultural Revolution. Every single one of these events left a scar.
To give you a really concrete example of this loss, two massive, priceless reliefs that depicted imperial processions were literally chiseled right out of the caves back in the 1930s. Today, they're on display in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York and the Nelson Atkins Museum in Kansas City. Okay, so after so much destruction and neglect,
the 20th century finally brought a new chapter to the story, the fight to preserve what was left.
Thankfully, protection really began in earnest after 1949 when the site was declared a national monument. Conservation efforts slowly started to gain momentum, and it all culminated in the year 2000, when the Longmen Grottoes were officially added to the UNESCO World Heritage List. They were finally recognized as a treasure belonging to all of humanity.
UNESCO's recognition was really based on three big ideas. First, for its sheer human artistic creativity. Obviously. Second, for illustrating the perfection of an art form that evolved over centuries. And third, for basically being a perfect time capsule of the incredibly sophisticated and devout culture of Tang dynasty China.
So, when you look at Longmen, you're not just looking at statues. You're reading a 1,500-year-old story that's written in solid rock. And it kind of makes you wonder, right? What will this silent city of stone have to say to the world another 1,500 years from now?